Hello, my name is Jenny. I am a student of English literature. This is my story. I want to tell you about my life in London and my fantastic teacher. You can read my story and learn English with me. It is a beautiful summer day. I am traveling on a train. Two women are on the train with me. They are sitting across from me. They are speaking English, but I don't understand much. I am studying English, but I am a beginner. I don't know many words. I started talking to the women. I said some simple words in English. The women understood what I wanted to say, and that made me happy. I told them that I want to learn English. The women said they are from England and are going home from a conference. We talked for 10 minutes. Then it was my stop. I said goodbye. The women gave me their address and phone number. They told me I can visit them in England. Then we said goodbye. After this meeting, I worked on my English every day. I translated texts and watched movies in English. In 6 months, my English got better. It was good, but I wanted to learn more. I went to London to study English. When I was in London, I joined a school. My first lesson was on Monday. I met my teacher and other students in the class. My teacher was a young and kind lady. She was very nice and humble. We introduced ourselves and then started the lesson. Our teacher asked us about our general knowledge of the English language. She told us she can teach through a very effective method to learn English. This method was very simple. Our teacher said we don't have to study from textbooks. Instead, we would have to use English a lot in our daily lives. This method was very effective for me. I didn't like studying from textbooks because they confused me. Then, we talked about what is important when learning a new language. Our teacher told us that language is a way to communicate. We need languages to express our ideas and thoughts. So, when you learn a new language, the best way is to use it to express your feelings and communicate with others. This is what we will do in our course. We will speak and use English a lot. Many students try to memorize new words and study grammar rules, but they don't use English for speaking. They study about the language, but they don't use the language. There is a difference. Of course, you need to learn new words and grammar, but you don't have to just study them. You need to practice them every day. In this course, I want to show a very simple and effective way to learn vocabulary and grammar. I liked what our teacher said. Our lesson continued, and we talked about our hobbies and what we like to do in our free time. We spoke in pairs or with our teacher. I enjoyed taking classes. I am really happy. This way of learning turned out to be very good and effective for me. I went to school on Tuesday. One of the students asked a question that was interesting for me. She asked, "What is the best way to learn new words?" Our teacher said there are many ways to learn new words, but the most effective way is reading. When people read, they learn new words twice as fast as people who don't read. It is good to read for at least 30 minutes every day. I want to show you what to do to get the most benefit from reading. First, it is very important that the book or text you read is interesting to you. It is important that you enjoy reading. The book can be a nice story, fiction, or nonfiction, whatever you like. Don't read texts that aren't interesting to you. When you don't know many words, you can get frustrated. You always want to enjoy what you do while using the language. It is best to choose a text that is interesting and also okay for your level. When you read and see a word you don't understand, you should look it up in the dictionary. This will help you understand the text better and increase your knowledge. You don't have to write the word down. The word will automatically stay in your brain, and you will remember its meaning whenever you see it again. Every time there is a new word for you, do the same. Reading also has another great advantage. When you read, you learn new words, and you also learn how each word connects to other words in a sentence. you can see how to link the words correctly. This way of learning new words is very effective. Try it, and you will see how fast you can learn new words. Then, we continue with the lesson. We spoke about the situation in England and the best jobs for students. This was good for me because I wanted to get a job and do something in my spare time after school. I asked other students if they knew where I could find a job. They told me to go to a job center. The job center offers many jobs, especially for students. This was good for me, and I was happy that I knew where to find a job. When my day at school was over, I went to the job center. I didn't know what job I could do, so I asked the lady at the job center, what is the best job for a student? The lady told me they have some good jobs for students. She told me I could be a cleaner or a waitress in a cafe. I told the lady that I had no experience with these jobs. She said my English was good enough to work at the cafe. The training was not difficult, and I could have more chances to speak English than being a cleaner. She told me I could start my job on Thursday. It was all good for me. I was happy that I had a job where I could practice English. When you want to learn new words effectively, read for 30 minutes every day. On Wednesday, I went to school again. There was one student in the class who was quieter than the others. He was from South Korea. When our teacher asked if we had any questions for her, this student said he had a question. He said he had a big problem with pronunciation. He knew his pronunciation was not very good, but he didn't know how to improve it. He doesn't speak much because he doesn't want others to hear his bad pronunciation. He said he reads and watches films in English a lot, and he understands very well, but he also wants to improve his speaking. He asked if there was something he could do to be better at pronunciation. When my teacher heard this, she said, "Okay, I will tell you something about pronunciation and how to practice it. I will also teach you techniques that can help all of you become better at pronunciation. First, we have to look at why students have problems with pronunciation. When we speak, we have to move our mouths. We use muscles in our mouths. We all do that. The problem is that when you speak English, sometimes you use your muscles the same way you would in your native language. Then, your pronunciation is different from native speakers. This happens to many students who learn English. Almost everybody has a little different pronunciation than they should. It is not a big problem because usually people understand what you want to say, even if your pronunciation is not perfect. However, you can work on your pronunciation and make it better by using a great technique that can help you a lot. The name of this technique is shadowing. The technique is very simple. When you do shadowing, you simply copy the sound you hear. When children learn their first language, they learn it by copying. They copy their parents again and again, and one day, their pronunciation becomes perfect. You can learn English pronunciation the same way. This is what you can do. Take some videos or audio recordings that are not too fast and that you can understand well. You listen and copy what you hear. That is all. Then, our teacher went to YouTube and searched for the shadowing technique. She found good videos where the shadowing technique was demonstrated well. We watched the video, and then we all tried to do shadowing for about 3 minutes. Then, our teacher told us that shadowing is also good when you are preparing for a presentation in English and want to have good pronunciation before the presentation. You can go to a place where you are alone and do shadowing for about 10 minutes. You will see how much it will help you to have better pronunciation during the presentation.